Hello everyone, I am Bricktreed and welcome to my Where Winds Meet building class. Today we will be going over the entire building system currently available in Where Winds Meet, up to 1.4 in the global release. We will be going over how to start building, how to get materials, how to transfer them to different accounts, how to get new recipes, how to build, plus some building tricks, and how the diagram system works. If you are watching this on TikTok, each segment will be posted separately, but if you are on YouTube, there will be timestamps in the description below. Before we begin, you should know that I play primarily on PS5 with the default controls, as well as on mobile, both of which I will be recording from, so the quality of video may change as we go. You should also know that Where Winds Meet has changed the build system controls once before and may do so again in the future. In order to begin building, you must first reach level 25 and complete a quest. One last job in Halo Peak in the Kingae region. Here is the exact location of the quest. If you have trouble finding it, just teleport to the Halo Peak boundary stone and follow this path. Once you get to the end, there should be an NPC to talk to, who will guide you to rebuilding the pillar. During the quest, you should learn the basics of how to open the build menu and place items. But, in case you didn't pay attention or have forgotten, on PlayStation, press the touchpad to open the quick menu. Once open, you will see an option at the top that says Construction Mode. Press R2 to open. If you are on mobile, look on the bottom left of your screen for this button, the one with 4 smaller boxes. Click on it and bring up your quick menu. You will see Build next to Windsinks and Unstuck. Click on it to open the build menu. Once the menu is opened, you will see this bar at the bottom of your screen. I will explain this menu more later in the video. Now that you can open the build menu, you'll need to gather some materials to begin building anything. There are 3 things you need to build: timber, ore, and stamina. Stamina is the only thing you cannot farm. You will regain 450 points of stamina upon each daily reset, till a total of 2,500. It does not matter how much of the other materials you have, because you will be unable to craft anything without stamina. To get timber, you must cut down trees or pick up sticks. One of the best locations to farm timber is just above Blissful Retreat. Just follow this path from the boundary stone and use a bladed weapon or mighty drop to quickly cut down the bamboo. Be careful of the wolves nearby. They will attack you. The bamboo here respawns faster on online mode, but you can also respawn them in solo by relogging in or swapping between modes, such as Sword Trial. I prefer farming timber in solo due to other people possibly also farming it in the same spot in online mode. Or is a bit trickier to farm. I find the best method is to run along this section of river in Kaifeng, collecting all the pebbles and stones. To make it easier, I would recommend buying this horse. Spirited Courser, as its ability, Petals Collection, makes farming almost all materials much easier, not just those used for building. In the world map, you can track the exact locations of each material you need, seeing exactly how much of each is in what area. Instead of farming your materials, you can also buy them. In the season shop, you can buy 10 life supplies support boxes for 80 jadefish per week. Just open them for a supply of your choice. If you choose the raw ore, it will give 20 ore per box, giving you a possible extra 200 per week. You can also get an extra 198 timber and raw ore per week from 2 merchants. The first is here, in Harvest Fall Village. Just follow this route from the Harvest Fall Village boundary stone. Here is the exact map location. The next merchant is located in the Imperial Artisan Court in Kaifeng. Again, just follow this route to find him. Here is his exact location as well. If you have the Battle Pass, you can access both merchants from the portable merchant menu instead. Now that we have the materials, you will need crafting recipes. A lot will be locked when you start. In the build menu and the crafting menu, these will be marked with a lock symbol. In order to unlock them, you must either buy them or earn them through gameplay. You can find out how each item is unlocked by looking at it in the build menu or craft menu. Currently, there are 3 shops you can buy the recipes from. Feng's Trade Hall, located here in Kaifeng. Tang He's Grocery, here in Hexi. Sandy Meow Temple, also in Hexi. The Glintfin collection also unlocks build items and can be completed as you progress. Currently, you can only get 29 out of 32 points as of 1.4. There are still a few items that you cannot craft and can only obtain by renting a home in Kaifeng and taking all the items. Before we begin the actual building, let's go over the menus first. Once you have opened the build menu, check the bottom bar to make sure this red one is not also there. It may say something different, but it all means the same. You cannot build here. You should also keep an eye out for this bar at the top of your screen. This is your load limit for the area. You only have a total of 5,000 component load per area. It'll usually pop up when you have less than 1,000 left. Each build item will take a different amount of load, including different variants. Beside the quick bar, you will see 3 buttons: a bag icon, the 3 square icon, and a pencil icon. The 4 square icon will bring up this menu. Cradle Blueprint can also be accessed through the bag icon. Building Guide takes you to the Help section of the game. Disabled or enable free camera allows you to switch between a bird's eye view and controlling your character as the camera. Turn on or off auto snap allows build items to snap to each other if you want, and construction settings. When opening the settings, you will see another set of auto snap options and free cam option. In the basic submenu, there you can also find the option to remove vegetation when placing build items and show a projection when placing things. I find these 2 options rather buggy, but still choose to have them on. Going to the next submenu will take us to permissions. I recommend having both attack settings set to off. Co-op build permissions will change who is allowed to build in your world. I recommend having it set to off or friends only. You can also specialize what friends can build in your world, but that menu appears to be broken, at least on PlayStation and mobile as of now. The last submenu is performance. I don't see much of a difference in these settings, but choose whatever you think is best for your setup. Once you've got your settings to whatever you want, go back to the main build menu and click on the bag icon. There are 2 main menus here, each with their own submenu. Personal, which is the main build menu and diagram. We will focus on that later. The 3 submenus in Personal are recently used, shows the build items you used last. I find it's not very accurate. The next menu is Basic Structure. This is where you will find your basics: flooring, walls, roofs, and so on. The last menu is Furniture Decoration. You will find all your decor items here: bed, potted plants, cushions, and more. If you are building in a guild base, you will have access to an extra menu that has unique items currently only available for guilds. The guild menu works exactly the same as the normal build menu, except for a few things, though that may change in the future. Currently, you cannot pick up and move items that have been placed. I will not be going over the guild build items today. Now we can begin trying to build a simple structure. I'm going to build an extremely simple 4x4 shell, not far from the 8-bowl exchange in Stonewash Strand during this example. Let's start by picking out the flooring we want to use. For bigger projects, I like to use the platform and build off that, but for now, we will use the heavy stone slab. You can see that when I clicked on the slab, it brought up another menu. Let's go over this quickly. Down here, you can see the material used. Here, it's raw ore and how much of it is needed. In this menu, it won't tell us how much stamina is used. That can be found in the crafting menu. To access the crafting menu, click here or on PlayStation press square and navigate over to it. When you click on more, you will see yet another submenu with the option of quick bar. Click on this to add the current item to the quick bar menu below, using the D-pad to navigate on PlayStation. You can see my own quick bar is full. You can use D-pad to switch between sets if you want. I often choose not to. You will also see a list of variants. These are different versions of the base item. Any item marked with the 3-line symbol has a variant. The numbers represent how many you have of the item in your inventory. If that number has a star asterisk beside it, then that means how many you can build based on how much timber or raw ore you currently have. Back to the build. I'm going to start off with free cam off. You can see on screen there are 3 options now that I'm holding the slab R2 to place it. L1 and R1 to rotate the item and circle to cancel. There's also a 4th option, square, to change the variant we are using. I want to use the thicker version of the slab. You can hold down square to bring up the variant list and see what one you are on and switch faster. But that appears to be bugged on PlayStation as of now. So pressing square is my only option right now. We have auto clip on to get these to place together easier. We will place 4x4 slabs down to start. Remember that the red means you can't place it. You may just need to move it around a bit to get it to work. Now that we have our 4x4 done, we are going to extend it by 2. This time we will fast place by holding down the R2 button and releasing it when we are happy with the preview. Next, we are going to add the walls. I want something simple, so we will use the lattice window wall. With auto on it, should auto click to the ends of the slabs we just placed. We will follow the 4x4 we just did, ignoring the extension. Again, use L1 and R1 to rotate it into place. For the front of the house, I want to use the open window variation of this wall. This variant doesn't sit flush with the connecting walls, so I will turn auto clip off to adjust it. Next, I want to add a door frame. So going over to the door and window submenu, I will just go for the basic one, clipping it in place with auto snap again. Now I want to add some wooden flooring to make it feel more homey. So going back to the floor menu, I click on indoor floor and pressing square again to get to the variant I want. Again, we use auto clip to fix it flush against the walls we placed. It will want to go into the middle. You just have to move the camera around till it behaves the way you want. I use the click and drag to finish it off once I place the first row. With the floor and walls done, we will turn on free cam to work on the roof. When hovering our cursor over an already built item, we will now have the option to press L2 plus R2 to extract. That just means copy. R2 on its own will pick up the item allowing you to move it, or L1 to delete it. We are going to copy the floor we just placed and put one near the top of the walls. Not the exact top, just near it. Then we build a small row of them using snap to the other side. You can see me quickly checking the roof. That is due to the one we are going to use not sitting on top correctly. It likes to hover a bit. Now we are going to go to the roof menu and go for the small hipped gable roof, placing it in the middle of the small row we just made. Going back inside the shell we made, we will delete the row using L1. I then changed my mind of the flooring we used, so pressing the right thumbstick or the pencil icon. We can bring up the recycle and replace menu. The buttons pick up and replace do not work for me on either PlayStation or mobile. Use the D-pad to scroll over to the bin icon or click on it if not already selected. Now, with the same method to quick place items, hold R2 and drag it over the item you want removed, letting go when satisfied or press circle to cancel. Turning free cam off again, I place down the outdoor flooring instead. I then decided I wanted to add some doors. So going back to doors and windows, I find the basic lattice door, tilting it into the place I want, a half open look. Going outside the shell, we should add some stairs to get inside. Going over to ladders, we can find the stairs. Switching to the smaller version, I placed one at the edge of the slab extension we made earlier, then use auto snap to double place it, using click and drag till it hits the ground, deleting the first one placed when done. Staying in the ladder menu, we navigate over to some of the railings. We will place them around the extension, not including the stairs. You can see I misplaced one of the railings, using pickup to move it correctly. Towards the end, it doesn't place right, and I try to fix it by turning auto snap off. I don't like the look and delete it. Instead, I go back to the ladder menu and find a few pillars, placing one at the ends of the railings and a different one below it. With that, the very basic shell is complete. All that's needed is decor. I would recommend turning Auto Snap off for that. Once you become more comfortable with the basics, you can start building much more impressive structures. There are a few tutorials around you can follow along or just wing it. Eventually, you will be able to download a build straight from the gallery instead. You can share your builds with others right now using the diagram system, just not as quickly as we will get in the future. Going back to the build menu. This time, we will need to click on Cradle Blueprint or click on Diagram if the personal menu is already open. To create a blueprint, click on the plus symbol on the sub-menu marked Mine. You can see I already have a few blueprints made. Once clicked on, you will see a top-down view of the area. You can move the camera around. The area in blue is the area and objects the diagram will pick up. Now, I find this rather buggy when you try to adjust it, so I don't. In order to get the most into a blueprint I make, I try to stand on the highest point in the middle of the build. This works best for me, but it might not for everyone else. When you are ready, click Create Diagram in the bottom right of your screen. We are now in the diagram view. You can see this build is now missing a lot of what was around it, and that's to be expected. You can only make diagrams of a certain size, so the bigger the build, the harder it is to fully turn into a diagram. If we go over to the eye symbol, we can bring up the overview of what's in this blueprint. In this menu, we want to check the component count. As of now, you can only have 500 components per blueprint. As you can see, this one has 726. We need to lower that before it can be saved. The best way to lower it is to remove anything that is easy to put back later, like some flooring or walls. After removing enough items, the print is now at 500 components, and we can save it. Press square when on the eye menu on PlayStation, and then navigate to the exit button. You can add a picture and name it if you wish. Press square to save it again. Make sure you press triangle when done. Now that we have our print, we can place it. Navigate back to the diagram menu and locate the print you want to use. I will be using the one we just made. When clicked on, you will see the area size of the blueprint, the component count, which we made sure was no more than 500, and a breakdown of each item in the blueprint. Open the More menu and click on Place. You will yet again be put in a bird's eye view. You can see the blueprint and where it'll place. It might try to place floating even if you place it on flat land. You can rotate it just like anything else from the build menu. Once positioned roughly how you want, hit place and check it out. Now head towards the middle of the print until this option pops up. Click on it or press R2 on PlayStation. You will have 3 options from here. The bottom one will bring up the same detail menu that we saw in build mode. The top is autocomplete. Click this to open up a different menu, which will tell you the exact cost to build. If you have the materials or items already, you can autofill the entire blueprint. Since I am in my guild, it shows the amount in the guild fund instead. The middle option is to remove the blueprint. If you have manually filled some of it in, you will get 3 options. Cancel, remove outline. This will just take away the blue that you see. Or remove with components. This will take away everything you have placed and the outline. You can also click on Place in Original Position. If you are not near where you had built the original blueprint, it will guide you on the map to the location. Click on it once there, and it should place exactly how it was built. If you are in your own world, it'll work the same as the normal placing menu, but if you are in someone else's, like I am here, only the host will be able to interact with the menu from this point. There's also a set of blueprints that the game will start you off with, and more you can unlock. These can be found in the pre-made submenu of the diagram menu. The process of using them is the same as ones you have made. The last thing I will show you is how to trade materials with others. Alrune will be joining us for this. To start with, you must go to the solo world of the person who you wish to transfer materials to. I will be giving Alrune the materials for this example. To start, just open the build menu and find an item you want to transfer. I recommend bigger items such as the desks. I will be giving Alrune the 24 stone slabs I have in my inventory. Switching to him, you can see he has 0 stone slabs right now. Just place the item, the same as you would when building. Once done, wait for the host to remove it. Once removed by the host, they will now have however many items you placed. You can see the 24 stone slabs here. If you want just the materials, press the dismantle button. Click on the items you want to get the materials from, and they will appear in the bottom list, here. Once ready, press dismantle again. If Alrune wanted to transfer an item to me, we would have to go into my world. Guests cannot dismantle items built by the host. That is everything to know about the build mode up to 1.4. If any updates come out that expand the mode or change things, I will try to update the guide if I can. In the future, I may also go over the entire list of builds items, including their variants, and possibly make a few build tutorials of my own. Until then, thank you for watching and have fun building.